Just
Well,
like green Niblime, green Terran, top left. Jedi. Yeah.
test 1 2. Test 1 2. I guess I should actually turn on your stream. Am I audible on there? Yeah, I can hear myself.
I think it was just once.
Oh shit, they're going to host us? That's a lot of viewers. Now I feel even worse about casting.
How many are they almost done with their set? With their series?
Yeah, they're interviewing the winner right now. So it'll be a minute or two. Sorry it's so delayed, Roegi.
Damn.
In the meantime, do you want to send me the second replay from their series too, or the rest of the replays from there? Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Obviously, I can host my own.
What were your plans on Tap Rock?
I guess we already have a few viewers, so I shouldn't talk about. I feel like talking about the games right now, but I don't want to spoil anything. Because we already have a few viewers on the stream, it looks like.
Damn, I'm like trying to find a link to this stream. Oh, there it is.
It's right about then. Okay.
Sweet, sweet. So from my understanding, these are the winners of the tournaments within the teams, right?
That is correct. So the tournament was actually a good idea. It was a lot of fun to play against your team and then just do like kind of single elimination. There's a lot of games, so these are the top players that won their team tournament and they're facing off against each other now.
Nice. So on my team, I'm on team Indecision, and Neb Lime was the winner of our in-house tournament.
Yeah, so we've seen the Blime as, it looks like the dark green Terran. He's spawning on the top left, and I was also on Team Indecision, and the Blime actually beat me in that tournament, so I can say he's a good Terran player and good representative of our team, I think.
One thing I was actually wondering is, because I was telling Roegi about this yesterday, but Taichi mentioned that he only had like a small handful of players in his team's turn. I know Samyang had 12 players, I think, total in ours. So I was just wondering which team was the most active, because I feel like there should be some sort of prize for that.
Yeah, I feel like there was a lot of activity in our team. I don't know exactly.
Our team had a pretty big player turnout. I think it was like 15-ish players.
Yeah, that's a good number.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Especially considering some of our tier 2s and tier 3s are probably a little intimidated by playing in the in-house tourneys, but...
Yeah, we actually had some of our tier 2 players slay some of our tier 0 players.
Yeah, there were some upsets, so that's always fun. Unfortunately, it did seem like it's just tier 0s in this finals, but that means we'll see some good games.
Yeah, so I know Neblime's playstyle. He likes to play very slow, very stable, really set up his defenses on 3 bases before doing anything. I don't know anything about Jedi 1, but we'll see if he has what it takes to take down our team's number 1, I guess.
Yeah, we watched Neblime in the winners final and the grand finals for our team, and he did play that super slow Terran and beat Snipe with it. So we'll see if Jedi 1 is able to be aggressive here and kind of break him early, because I know once he gets into that split map, that's kind of the game he wants to play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Neblime and Snipe had a really good game on Overwatch. Came out of like fighting over one base at 9 o'clock.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that game. That was some good defense from the Blind, just kind of broken.
Yeah, just squeezing out the win.
Yeah. So right now we have a pretty
But
standard factory expand from the Terran. He's only mining gas with one SCV. And it looks like the Dragoon and maybe Range is going to be started right here for the Protoss player.
yeah, and Jedi 1 scouted kind of early, so and started a Zealot, so his range is a little bit late. And it looks like Neblime wants to go for a bunker expand, so the
Yeah.
late range might come back to bite him a little bit.
But this Zealot is getting into the Terran base. Terran forced to retreat back to their Sim City, pulling some SCVs now to try to get in the way of that Zealot.
Yeah, I don't really like this. The SCV pull, you should be able to hold this with just Marines.
Yeah, I think it's a little like kind of safety net, but we already saw one SCV is very close to dead by this Zealot. Now it looks like they're repairing it.
I feel like it was like one probe hit away from dying. It feels pretty bad. But I'm also thinking the Zealot was a good idea, even if it didn't pan out very well, because I do know that Neblime is kind of super noteworthy for always playing on turn rate 8 extra high left. So
really?
starting Zealots every game against that seems like it would be a good idea.
He has denied the expansion of Neblime and stopped that bunker from going up right away, so I think it has been a win for the Protoss so far. And look, he's going up to 2 Gateway Dragoon production.
Yeah, Neblime did get the first scout off, but he lost his SCV right away to the first Dragoon. Or he lost it to something, I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, he's sending in another SCV, it looks like. We'll see if he's able to avoid these 2 Dragoons.
What do you guys think about this build from Protoss? Going up to 2 early gates, but then cutting Dragoon production so quickly? It seems a little strange to me.
I don't really like it. He probably should have just gone for the robotics instead. He can get that observer into Neblime's base, but I think because he didn't get too deep into Neblime's main, he might be a little bit scared of a 2-fact even.
So we see Neblime has siege mode and a tank on that cliff, so he should be safe from these Dragoons, at least for the time being. The Dragoons looks like they're moving in.
He's just
trying to
diving
get
in.
This tank, but this is kind of a tough fight to take, because if the SCV gets over there, this tank will never die, but he manages to take it down even though it was on the high ground.
Yeah, this is doing a lot of damage. He's slowing down the Nat.
Yeah, and these
Traded a
Dragoons are
Dragoon
super
for
low.
a tank.
Here's another tank even farther back on the high ground though, and as long as he can deny the Dragoons from getting up the ramp, he should be safe.
Yeah, 1 Dragoon at 2 HP. He's about to lose it. I believe... Oh, not quite.
So I think this 2-gate Dragoon was worth it in the end. It was kind of a risky play, but I think it paid off now.
Yeah, for sure. Neblime's pretty far behind economically. He spent a lot of time with SCVs pulled on his ramp too.
So it looks like a Reaper follow-up for the Protoss player.
And he's upgrading Speed Shuttle as well.
Yeah, this is gonna be...
Dragoons.
Oh, this is... I don't know about this one. This is a little too deep.
Yeah, he's basically trapped here now by the tanks on the cliff, and it doesn't look like he's going to kill any of them, but he is getting some SCV kills, kind of denying this expansion again from mining, so Neblime hasn't really gotten any minerals from this base yet, and Jedi
Yeah.
has set up his expansion already.
Yeah, this is actually doing...
Oh,
I think
no.
this barracks should really get landed. Neblime going up to 4 factories. He's probably gonna add a 5th and just go for it. I guess he feels behind and feels like he has to do something.
Yeah, I could see the 4 factories just to try to get some added production here, because he has kind of lost some units, but maybe he will be aggressive. He hasn't started his upgrades from his armory yet, so that could be a sign that he's going to go aggressive.
Let's see, Jedi 1 producing his first Reaver, but I don't see a shuttle yet.
Oh, he's hiding a shuttle in the corner of his base. I guess.
Oh, I see it.
On the Blime scans, he just assumed that it was only observers. Like it was a completely standard build from Jedi 1 because he hasn't even started on eBay yet.
Their eBay has been started in the natural. It's
Oh,
2/3 done. But this is an aggressive build from Jedi 1, going up to 4 gateways, getting that Reaver out. Let's see if he's able to do damage. There is an armory already with the +1 upgrade going, but I don't see any Goliath out or missile turrets.
And speed shuttle is already finished too, so.
This is gonna do a lot of damage. Oh, he does need to...
Oh, the Blime Shoe action was pretty good. That tank being in position was very helpful.
Yeah, he's getting a decent amount of SCVs, but I think that could have done a lot more damage. Picks off a Vulture, another SCV. Oof, another 2 Vultures.
Yeah.
Producing some Goliaths. I'm not really sure what Nablime is going for here. He's getting +1, he's sitting on 4 factories.
Yeah, and he's very low on workers right now too, unfortunately.
Let's see, Jedi 1 hasn't taken his 3rd yet.
Yeah, he looks like he's getting Citadel of the Dunes. Maybe he's going for Templar then?
Yeah, most likely fast Arbiters. He hasn't taken his 3rd yet, but he's taken a pretty sizable lead, so it should be okay.
Yeah, and he's got that Reaver to deny any 3rd base blind. That Reaver on these cliffs in Fighting Spirit can be very tough to break.
Yeah, especially in these positions, if he sees Nablime go up, his natural is right next to the 3rd, so it's pretty easy to slow down the 3rd quite a bit.
I'm actually really surprised Jedi 1 hasn't. He's just now taking his 3rd, but he's had that probe up there for feels like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's been up there for quite a while. I think Nablime needs to start teching towards Science Facility too. His +1's about to finish, but he doesn't have any way to start +2.
Yeah, kind of unfortunate there. This Darkport hasn't even started really, so he's gonna have to get +1 armor next, it looks like.
He's still building turrets. This is I think a few too many turrets.
Must be afraid of the speed shuttle, which takes some hits from a turret, but now it's getting into the main again. It has 2 Reapers in it this time, so the SCV's going to be in a lot of trouble here. I think he's gotten 3 so far. And now the Goliath should be able to shut this down. The Reapers are just going to die here.
Yeah, they've done enough though. They've killed quite a few SCVs, picked off some Goliaths.
Quite a few Vultures as well.
So do you think there is a timing here for Terran? He has just killed both the Reavers. Would this be the time to push out, or does he have to wait and try to play a long game and take his 3rd?
I don't think that's really an option for him here. He's just lost too many units, lost too many SCVs. He could try for an all-in push on the Nat, but it's very risky, and I don't think it's very likely to work.
So here it looks like he is taking that 3rd base, and he's going to build it on location, it looks like, which is kind of risky, like you were saying, with this exposed base right next to the Protoss Nat, but he's getting more tanks up there to reinforce.
Yeah, and he catches the probe transfer. Gets a couple of probes. But Jedi 1 has a good Dragoon on the ramp. Manages to hold without too many losses.
We'll see if
So Jedi 1, if he sees this 30, he should be able to break it with the speed shuttle.
Yeah, he could go for a shuttle bus here on the 3rd and just get those zealots right on the tanks. That would be very tough to
Yeah.
stop right now.
And he sees it. Nablime needs to wall off this 3rd.
Yeah,
But
sometimes
it doesn't look like he's going for it. Oh,
Yeah.
there he goes. It's gonna be very hard to hold.
The tanks are spread pretty nicely, so I don't think the zealots are going to get on top of all of them. But there's not enough lines.
Yeah.
There is no wall, like you mentioned, which is a big deal here in this fight, because the goons are just going to get right up this ground.
Yeah, they're just gonna walk straight up, and the speed shuttle getting right on top of the tanks.
There's 2 tanks in the middle line right now, and those are going to go down very fast. He's reinforcing with 2 more tanks, but the zealots aren't helping those. Wow, and all his tanks looking like they're going to go down, and GG holds from the blind.
GG, I think he just took a little bit too much damage from the early game.
Just 1 second, I'm just finding the replay. Game is hosted whenever you guys are ready.
Alright, and this is, if anything, Lime's kind of map. This is the kind of map where you kind of have to play for the late game. It's very hard to push cross map. Protoss can go Arbiters, but it's difficult for them to fight late game without carriers. Just because of how choked it is.
Yeah, definitely. I think you gotta stop the Terran from getting 4 bases, but it is pretty easy to take that 4th base on this map. And then once that's done, the Terran can kind of shut down the side expansions.
Yeah, once Terran gets control of that big ramp, it's not too hard for them to get up to 4 bases. There is a lot of like area to defend for recalls though, so if Gen 1 decides to go for Arbiters, we'll see if Nablime can deal with that.
Well, this is an early probe sent out by Ash Jedi 1. It looks like he might go for some kind of proxy gateway.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't want to play a long game, he just wants to end it.
Yeah, he must have realized his, maybe he saw some weakness with Nablime's, control against the Zealot before.
He sees the latency going to TR8 extra high. He knows the answer to it.
On the other side of the token, though, Nablime probably plays against this stuff all the time on ladder, right? So he's probably pretty good at defending.
Well, we'll see this game. We'll see how his control is this game.
Yeah, this was a 9 gateway proxy. So this will be an early Zealot here. But it's just a matter of Nablime, can he buy time, get his Marine count up, and his factory out? Is he gonna
he
get
can
gas
fake.
stolen?
Oh, does not get gas stolen.
So were you saying the Protoss would fake a gas steal there?
I actually think it'd be better to fake it because when Terran takes gas, they need to get their factory down immediately. If you gas steal, there's a couple of options. They're either gonna racks expand and probably not cut any Marines,
Yeah.
or they're gonna go 2 racks. And in either case, you kind of just want to get that Zealot in there. You want them to cut some Marines so they can place that factory. You're gonna be going 3 Zealots probably before you get any Dragoons out. So ideally, you want to delay that factory as much as possible.
Yeah, so you almost want to bait the Terran into going for a factory, and then once they place the factory, not let it finish. I think that's the ideal play for Protoss.
Yeah, it's actually pretty hard to hold against 2 barracks when you only have 1 gateway.
placed the pylon in the mineral line, which is kind of annoying, but the marine is getting started, and this SimCity looks pretty good for Nablime right now. He's got those 2 depots placed to the right of his grass, and he's going to go back through there. The probe is kind of coming around to keep trap him.
Oh, this is really good. He has the Zealot trapped.
Yeah,
A couple more hits and he'll be able to take it out. One thing that's really annoying about this pylon is you see how it forces the SCV to the other side? The Zealot can then hit it.
Good point. Yeah. He's able to take out the first SCV. He's got a Zealot in his mineral line now. Able to keep that Zealot alive with just 4 HP, 2 HP left.
Oh, and Nablime's holding on, but he's losing quite a few SCVs. Still in an okay position for right now.
He's going for the Vulture first, which should buy him some time once it gets out.
Yeah, Vulture first here is really good. If he has the opportunity and runs it straight to the Protoss base, it can do it should be able to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, it looks like that's
but
what
he
he's
might
going for right now.
Dragoons won't be out for quite a bit still. Nablime's defense looking pretty good.
Yeah,
He's
I don't know
got
if
it.
he's lost the Marines this whole time.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good ball of Marines now. It'll be really hard for Jedi 1 to do anything about this.
Jedi 1
Oh, and it looks like...
ball. Oh, do you think
So
that
Jedi 1...
is sending everything?
Jedi 1 builds a wall here, but this actually isn't tight. You can run a Vulture between that pylon gap right there.
Really?
Yeah, but it looks like Nablime doesn't know. Actually, I'm not sure. You might need Vulture speed to do it, but against diagonal pylons, you can run Vultures right on through.
Well, he's pushing back this first Dragoon. Dragoon does get 1 Marine kill. The Vulture going, and he's going to scout the proxy pylon location, but a Goon is about to pop out, so that Vulture is going to have to retreat. Yeah, once Dragoons get out, these Marines and Vultures don't really trade that well.
Yeah, I think Nablime should get back on gas and try to get a tank out. Although, if he just walks these Marines into the main, I don't know what Jedi 1 can do about it.
Yeah, I think Dragoons are just too good at this stage of the game right now. You do need a tank out or something to deal with them.
Oh, yeah. Trying to get a probe, gets 1.
I'm just now starting his add-on, so I don't know how he's going to block these Dragoons after these Vultures die.
Did you guys see, did he get Dragoon Rain?
I don't think he did. Let me see. No, he doesn't. Doesn't have it. Although he may start it soon. Nablime's starting his command center in his nat. If he can get a bunker down, he should be able to hold this. Although there are Dragoons trickling across the map right now.
Yeah, he's trying to repair this Vulture. He has no Marines left on the map.
He can just get, if he can get this bunker to finish, he may be able to hold, but I'm not sure. It's looking a little iffy for Nablime right now.
Yeah, there's 4 Dragoons incoming. He has 1 Vulture to defend. He's building a tank and a Marine right now and trying to get this bunker up.
If he can pull another couple SCVs, he may be able to hold. Oh no, that looks like it's it. He's about to pick off the tank.
Oh, he gets in the bunker.
Oh, maybe not.
He needs to
He gets a good SCV block on.
Yeah, the Dragoons are gonna get right.
Not quite.
Though. Oh.
There's some decent micro from Nablime. Pushing the Dragoons back.
2 more Dragoons.
But there's 2 more just running right by. Yeah, and I think that's gonna be it.
He's not producing a second tank.
No, he doesn't have money for it.
There's good gameplay from Nablime.
I felt like Nablime's defense was so good, but just a few key moments. Like, he got supply blocked at 32 for a while.
Yeah,
And
I think
he started mining gas little late for that tank that you guys.
Yeah, I think he just went for too many vultures. In most cases, you don't want to get more than one, maybe two vultures against a forward gate because they're going to get, even though they make a lot of zealots, they're going to get dragoons pretty fast. And vultures just don't do anything against dragoons. Yeah, I think the safest option would have been to just back up, get a bunker down, and get that command center going. The only thing you really have to watch out for in that case would be Reaver or DT follow-up. You can cover both of those with an engineering bay. And you just end up like miles ahead if you get that second base that much earlier than the Protoss.
Yeah, and in the bottom left we have Ben Elton playing as the orange Protoss, and in the bottom right we have DM King playing as the, looks like gray Zerg? I don't know what color that is.
It's pale green.
Pale green.
I don't know why I keep picking it.
It looks teal to me.
The new colors are so bizarre to me.
So, Keen, do you want to give us your thought process going into this game?
Yeah, well, I didn't really get a chance to prepare for it, really, because, I mean, as you guys know, the tournament was just announced a couple of nights ago. Won my team's tournament and just found out that I was playing Ben Elton again. But I did play Ben Elton in another one of those Apocalypse Show matches where I beat him 6-3. So I was feeling fairly confident going into it, but like I said, I didn't really practice EVP or anything this week.
Oh my, the excuse is already coming out.
It was a last minute tourney, I'll give you credit. But if you've already 6-3'd this guy, I think you're prepared, right?
Yeah, for sure. But Ben Elton, I will say that the games were tough. Even the games that I won in our series. No.
Yeah, Ben Elton's a good player. Good player.
One thing that I will say in his credit, like just in general, he's definitely a player that has tenacity, which I feel like should really be emphasized for CPL because a lot of, especially the newer players, they're really good at practicing their opening builds and everything, and I think they're actually, for relatively new players, like there's a lot of mechanically strong players in CPL, but a lot of them kind of lack, just have a weaker mental mindset, and whenever one thing goes wrong in a match, like losing a drone to a rogue, they'll just immediately start tilting. But I don't think Ben Elton is one of those players. I think he's, even if things go wrong, he's going to keep his head in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely important to have a good mindset like that. I think, especially for, but for all StarCraft players, especially for lower level players, you're going to make mistakes. There's going to be times you get supply blocked. You might mess up your build slightly. But it's more how you respond and can you keep playing through those mistakes.
Yeah, and both players opening pretty standard. Looks like we're lagging out a little bit.
A little bit of lag right now.
Opening pretty standard. I think Protoss can open Nexus before Cannon if they scout the overpool. But this isn't really too much of a difference. And this gateway, so gateway should go on the right. Gateway on the left actually isn't Ling tight on the left. Lings can run right through that. Not really a big deal, but
I actually didn't realize it this game. One of the other games, his wall was also kind of askew a little bit. I was really tempted to just do a Lingolan. Like whenever I see a Protoss that has their wall off, I immediately want to just Lingolan.
It's a learning opportunity for them, Keen.
So we see a fast third base from Keen, and it looks like he's taking the near expansion.
Yeah, so everything looking pretty normal so far. From my understanding, near expansion usually means some sort of Hydra play mid-game.
Yeah, it almost always leads to 5-hatch or 6-hatch Hydra. How you want to, like how heavy you want to go on the Hydras is, where you see the variation. I usually lean pretty heavily towards the Hydras mid-game, and I especially like actually the more layer-heavy style now, which stays on layer for quite a while, even into the late game. Because before, like a year and a half ago, it was more the style where they would just make enough Hydras to survive the initial like 730 +1/+1 Zealot timing push that was the most popular build, but then get a really fast hive and rely on cracklings and defilers more, which is definitely good, but it feels more fragile in the mid game. So just resting on the Hydra Lurker a little bit longer and trying to make sure that you just have enough Lurker fields on the map to survive and get your 4th up is something I feel way more comfortable.
Yeah, I could certainly see that. Lurkers just look so strong to me in PvZ.
Yeah, and if you can kind of just control that mid game with Hydralist Lurker, why not? Why go into Hive too fast and then risk dying to some kind of early aggression from the Protoss?
Yeah, and Ben Elton getting a lot done with his first 2 Zealots. He managed to pick off 3 drones in total and a handful of Lings. 2 or 3 Lings.
Building another cannon, so he's got up to 2 cannons at the front. He must have known, maybe he forced out some Zerglings.
Yeah, he did see a pretty high Zergling count. I think he just knows that he's ahead. He's just trying to solidify his lead. Because he's already picked off 4 drones this game, 1 with his probe and 3 with his Zealots. So I would say he has a decent-sized economic lead. Although 3 cannons might be canceling that out, I'm not really too sure.
Yeah, one thing that I'll note, he preemptively kind of overmakes cannons in a lot of our games that I've noticed now, which is, I think, the result of me just winning with straight-up Hydra busts a lot.
Let's see, and it looks like you're going up into 5-hatch Hydra?
Yeah. But like you said, I did lose a bunch of drones, so my build was definitely thrown off.
Yeah, it looks like you're about to hit the drone count. Maybe another round?
Yeah, I'm still a little low on drones with my natural, especially. I think my Hydra production is delayed like a good 30 seconds.
Yeah, you're still short a handful of drones. I think it's 1 per patch, and then 6 on gas, I think, is what I've been told.
Yeah. But even if you don't lose any drones, that's kind of hard to hit. You need to have also efficient use of your... Like, you need to be making all the Lings and the Overlords from your main hatchery, because your main is the first that gets saturated.
So you get that little boost of efficiency from your drones spawning right next to the mineral line.
Yeah, exactly. But he was also delayed because of his extra cannon.
Yeah,
so,
I'm sure
there.
that triple cannon sets him back quite a bit. And it looks like he's going into archives and 4 gates, starting +1 armor. I've been seeing this.
With the Zealots right now.
I've been seeing this quite a bit. What do you think about skipping the second forge and just getting +1 armor?
Oh, yeah, I've seen him do this before too, and I honestly don't understand it. I think +2 weapons is way more important.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah,
Looks like-
I think it's a mistake on his part.
So you've got quite a few Hydras. You hold this pretty easily. Lose a couple of Overlords, but nothing major. Overlord speed, almost done. Stray Hydra getting picked off.
And here I was just kind of like, just thrown off. Like I was kind of almost lost at this point.
So what do you end up doing? It looks like you make a round of drones. Or maybe just a handful of drones. Your +1 attack is almost done. Both players just kind of macroing up. Ben Elton started to move out a little bit though. Looks like he's trying to take his third already. It was a very early third.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of Zealot and Templar against pretty much pure Hydra from the Zerg player. I think Zealot and Templar can counter Hydra pretty well.
Yeah, right now I felt like I was really on the back foot. I was still kind of reeling from the lost drones, honestly. And then just not hitting my timings.
Yeah, it looks like you're getting that third gas, getting Lurker started.
Yeah, right
And I'll-
now at the Zerg, you should be aiming to have like all three of your bases be oversaturated, which I'm falling short of.
Yeah, Ben Elton about to hit 1-1. I want to see. It looks like he started a second forge for +2 weapons.
Yeah, he did.
Keen is producing a whole lot of Hydras.
Yeah, this is a Hydra mass right now.
Still, he's on 6 hatcheries now. Could pick up on the Corsair. But Ben Elton has a pretty sizable army, and he has a lot of storms. I don't know if he's gonna wait for 2-1 or just go for it. He's still got maybe another minute on 2-1. Looks like he's just gonna go for it.
Yeah, this was a major failure on my part, not scouting this troop movement.
Yeah, he just gets across the map with no issues.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like there's any lifters out just yet.
Yeah, big storm on the Hydras. Ooh, another big storm. That might... Oof. Storms are just massive.
Well, the Hydras are getting on top of these drones, but the Zealots are in the middle of the line, killing almost every drone right now.
Yeah, this is one of the most frustrating. I really should have been on top of things better with just immediately transferring my drones there. But I was caught off guard by the lack of scouting. So yeah, I was just kind of reeling here.
I think building your lurkers on the ramp would have
That's what I
saved you
meant
quite a
to
few
do,
drones too.
I didn't quite get the Hydras there before I moved.
Now the Protoss is forced the drones out of the main and is trying to focus down the spawning pool, which it looks like he's gonna get.
Yeah, loses the spawning pool. Not really a big deal at this point. I think you are pretty far behind on drones, but
yeah,
spawning pool not really a huge deal.
Yeah, I can definitely stabilize here, but I will say that one of the most annoying things as a Zerg is when the Protoss just does stuff like that, even when their like whole army dies. Shove zealots everywhere into like random parts of your base, and they just take so long to kill with Hydras. And it's important here though to like stop as Zerg and like make sure that you just make enough, just make just enough army to survive a possible counterattack, but also make sure you get that spawning pool back down, and you like rehockey. If you lost hatcheries, like make sure you reorganize your rallies and all of your hatcheries.
Yeah, it's important to regroup after a big fight like that. Yeah, it's the same thing for Terran. Once Protoss gets like a big recall off, you need to make sure you regroup all your units, because they tend to be like flung all over the place. Looks like he's got another big move out, and Ben Elton's sitting on 3 bases now.
There's a lot of lurkers that just spawned in there. Oh, kind of dying because they got stormed on.
Oof, a little bit grouped up, but they're getting some good lurker spines off. This is doing a lot of damage.
Yeah, this push wasn't really good enough for Ben Elton to get anything done, I don't think.
Yeah, and I think that gives Keen a way back into the game. He looked pretty far behind after that initial push, but Ben Elton kind of losing this army for not very much.
And I'm actually surprised to see how even the supplies are.
Yeah, Ben Elton's been on top of his macro too. He's been he has a good probe saturation. He's keeping his money low.
Yeah, it looks like Keen is trying to expand to the top right, and he's putting lurkers up there on top of this ramp, so that should be a nice defensive position for the Zerg. And at the same time, Ben Elton is taking his 4th base in the top left natural, and he's building some cannons around his Nexus right now. I think this base is going to be a little more exposed, maybe to a Zerg counterattack.
Yeah, and it looks like Keen remaking his spawning pool, and I think that at this point he should really be looking at going into Hive. Already at 2-0 attack upgrades, but he can't get any more until Hive is done.
Yeah, my hat was a little too late this next push.
Lurker's getting a lot of free hits on those Dragoons. It doesn't look like there's an observer out with this army yet.
Yeah, I saw a couple on the map. I saw a couple of observers on the map earlier. I'm not sure where they are. Might have gotten picked off.
Yeah, I did kill 2 of his observers when he had that second attack. I always get freaked out here when I see Protoss forts, so this is why. Like, I'm not even sure this is an overreact. I just, if I'm even on bases with Protoss, I feel like I'm just screwed.
Yeah, we see immediately the Zerg is homing over to the top left corner to try to shut down this expansion with pretty much his whole army, just leaving some lurkers and his natural.
And it looks like he's gonna get the base, but it might open him up for a counterattack.
Yeah, that's what
Let's see if... Ben Elton just pushing right on through.
Yeah,
Oof, and he gets it. If he can get into the nat, it'll do a lot of damage. But maybe if Keen can hold at the main, if he can pull his drones back and hold at the main.
Yeah, I think if there was some lurkers north on the ramp or something, he might be able to win this. But as it is right now, this is a lot of Protoss. The Hydras are streaming back to try to stop this attack, but again, it looks like he's going to do a lot of damage.
Yeah, and Ben Elton is getting easy storms on this choke.
Yeah.
It's just so hard to push across that bridge. But it looks like Keen will be able to clean this up.
Again, losing a lot of drones around the middle.
Yeah, losing quite a bit, but he did manage to take out the 4th. So now it's back to 3 base against 3 base. Not the ideal situation, but...
There's a 4th in that top right.
Oh, I thought this natural was gonna go down as well, but it looks like Keen just managed to save it. He did lose his Hydra Den though, so he's not able to produce Hydras right now. He can make Zerglings, but they're unupgraded. It looks like he's just going to go straight into Mutas.
Interesting. So he has the Spire, let's use it. It is, yeah, like you were saying, very late Hive.
Yeah, so he's making some Mutas right now. And I think it could do some damage. Although these are unupgraded Mutas against 3-2 Protoss armies, so I don't know.
It was kind of a panic move on. I just thought I needed units like right away. and then I realized my defense was gone. So I was thinking maybe Muta snipe some High Templar. I think it was a pretty huge waste of money, especially at this point in the game.
Yeah, sometimes you just need any unit you can get out there. So I don't blame you for building Mutas.
Yeah, and Keen falling behind a bit on upgrades as well. He's still only at 2-0, and this Protoss is already at 3-2. Protoss going straight for the top right. He should be able to break this pretty easily once the observers get there. Oh, but if Keen can pick off these High Templars, he might be able to hold. That's quite a few High Templars, though. And they just aren't even... They aren't even dying. These +2 High Templars against +0 Mutas.
I also just wasn't. I completely mismicroed them. I was trying to like rush to find all the units. That's what I was talking earlier about, making sure that you regroup. Because I units like all over the map at this point. I was just trying to find stuff to hold this off.
Yeah, and Ben Elton bouncing between bases. Kane scrambling to defend. Yeah, I think if he loses a space, it's just too much damage. He won't be able to produce enough against this Protoss army.
Well, he's holding off the Protoss to reinforce, but this is a lot of Protoss units on top of his third, kind of camping these ramps with Templar, Zealots, and Dragoons. Once he breaks past his breakers, he's going to be in a great situation. He's taking out every hatchery up there.
Yeah, and Kane just doesn't have any more production. He's got what, 1, 2, 3 hatcheries right now. He's on 3 hatch production versus 5, 10, 11 gate.
Yeah,
so even if he manages, to hold this, Ben Elton with another round of units, he can just keep flinging units.
Yeah, Ben Elton is actually ahead on expansion style, so he's definitely going to be able to get more production and more units out there.
Yeah, Ben Elton on 2 mining bases versus Keen's 1, 2, about 2, more like 1.5. Just doesn't have enough drones to saturate.
Yeah, and these workers now have gone down the ramp. They will try to take this natural expansion, but they've kind of become more exposed now to the Protoss.
I was pretty much resigned to losing here, but I thought maybe I had a chance to like still kill that army, but I didn't.
Yeah, and this is looking...
It's just buying time.
Oof. It's looking like the end for Chava. Still hanging in there trying to eke out some Hydras. Ben Elton's sitting on a lot of gas too. He could be making a bunch more Archons with all that money. Although I suppose he doesn't really need it against Hydra Lurker.
Yeah, and actually DM Keen is able to hold off this attack for now and defend his third base in the top right. Ben Elton looking like he's going to take another base in the top left natural.
Yeah, Keen holds off the attack, but he doesn't really have a comeback mechanic here. He has... Oh, there's still 2 High Templar hiding in the back, too.
Oh, here they come. There's not a lot of drones there, so that's off.
Yeah, Keen hides his drones in the corner.
All 2 of them.
See, he's gonna try to break this 5th base.
Yeah, this is
but that's looking like a...
attack, it looks like.
It's looking like quite a few units coming out of Protoss. Protoss at 3-3 now. No shield upgrade started, but no hive either, so Plague isn't really a big threat.
And here's DTs in the main. It's like 3 DTs cleaning everything out.
Yeah, the few drones that were left in there.
Yeah, what does the Zerg have to even defend this? He has 3 Hydras and an Overlord. And I think those 3 DTs will just win.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I just gave up on that base at that point. My only plan here was to maybe hold on to see what happens,
Yeah.
but there was no like well-developed thought process behind that.
Keen remaking all of his tech in the corner base.
So yeah, just to go over at this point, like I said, I didn't have a super well-developed thought process of what I was doing here. I was literally just trying to survive for as long as possible. But like Roegi was saying, I definitely should have remade the hatcheries that I had lost. There's just so many things that I did wrong this game, honestly. I'm not even sure that the counterattack that to kill his fourth was necessarily the worst decision, but if I had set up the lurkers that were still at my base and just had my production kind of under control, had my macro a little more under control, I think I could have held and still killed the fourth. But even after that initial attack where he just ran straight into my natural and then killing most of the drones in my main and just one of my hatcheries, just doing all that production and economic damage. Like I said, I never took that time to like just calm down and like regroup and make sure everything was exactly where I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I noticed that the spawning pool was down for so long. It was gone for maybe 3 or 4 minutes. Alright, on to game 2.
But yeah, Ben Elton, like I was saying, I wasn't even trying to make excuses, but even in the games that I win, he does feel like a very strong player. The games are never easy. It seems like he has ways of making his units do more than they should.
I'm getting invalid password. Let me try rejoining BattleNet. I'm still getting invalid password. Could you rehost?
Yeah, maybe Roegi joined first and then RoyalBlue. Because the order people join in seems to affect things as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, it worked this time. Alright, game 2. We have DM Keen, the Teal Zerg, at, what is this, 10 o'clock? Versus Ben Elton, the White Protoss, at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. And something I realized just today, because I usually, when people complain about CPL maps and stuff, I usually, it's like, whatever. I mean, most of them are standard enough. But I realized Tau Cross, some of the map positions, depending on where your opponent is, it's kind of weird for what pattern you would end up expanding in as Zerg. And at these positions, I think it's pretty reasonable to just take the gas third as you would on like a fighting spirit or whatever, and then there's a mineral only right to the right of that, which is like a pretty good expanding pattern. But I was playing another game earlier where I was at the 1 o'clock position, and my opponent was at Ben Elton's position here, and I was just trying to figure out like where the best fourth would be after that, which I guess would just be taking the other main. But it is a 3-player map, so it's always good to do the kind of passive bar natural style for your third as well, and just do the turtley hive Zerg.
Yeah, just play for the late game.
It's just something that I would have to learn. I'm not really used to that play. But that's also excellent on Sylphid for the same reason.
Okay, well, we see a gateway first coming down from the Protoss, so it looks like he's going to try to pressure the Zerg with the early Zealot.
Yeah, Ben Elton opening with the gate expand.
And gate pass expand is actually something that I practice against. I'm not sure if I would build that I would necessarily recommend to CPL level players the most, because I do think it's hard for both players to deal with. The Protoss really has to make sure that they're obviously their Zealot micro is good, or at the very least like their Zealot positioning is good, but then the Zerg also needs really good wing micro and just like larva management to make sure that they don't overcommit to Zerglings. But they're definitely interesting games.
Yeah, I think it's a strong strategy that you can keep producing probes, but you just have to be on top of your multitasking, which can be tough.
Yeah, one thing I remember Jae-yoon saying is that when you're defending against Zealot pressure as Zerg, you should barely be able to hold, because you don't want to build like even 2 or 4 more Zerglings than you need to. You want to just barely hold.
When you make too many Zerglings, it feels horrible as Zerg. That's so much waste of time. Those larvae could have been drones instead. You're just stuck with these units that can't really do anything. But one thing I will note is that a lot of even the better players that I've played and seen play in CPL, they do what Ben Elton is doing right now, which you should absolutely not do. You should be getting your Nexus before your Forge. But I messed up here too and overcommitted to Zerglings, and I've been watching Crossy replays recently, which I've seen him do kind of not necessarily an all-in, but he definitely goes aggressive with the Lings and gets this early Ling speed. And so I was already kind of in that mindset, just like mindlessly producing Lings, because I wanted to try to attack his Gateway and attack his Forge and attack the Zealot when he tries to come out to defend them, and just see what kind of damage I could do. And I was thrown off by the fact that he's doing this Forge thing, so even though it's the incorrect play, it ended up working out for him here. I overcommitted to Lings. I should have had my third up way faster, and I should have had drone production up, and I supply block myself here. It's just...
Yeah, and you still produce some more Lings. So I guess you did see the Forge going down, so I think
I should have immediately reacted and stopped Ling production when I saw it.
Yeah, this is quite a few Lings.
Because if I reacted properly, that would be a huge disadvantage for Ben Elton.
Yeah, looks like you're just catching back up on drones. Everything's pretty normal.
Yeah, I thought I was pretty screwed here, to be honest.
Yeah, Ben Elton does have a lot of Zealots, and his Nexus is pretty late, so I think you're behind, but I don't know if it's unwinnable. I have a hard time telling with CVP though.
I mean, looking at the worker count, it's not too bad, but I felt like I was really extremely delayed on the tech as well. Like, here I'm just thinking, trying to go through my head, thinking what I can do, which is like a 4-hatch. It's kind of like an old build. And 4-hatch Hydra actually is like a decent reaction to gate fast expand, but not in the way that I did it.
So why is 4-hatch better than 5-hatch against gate expand? Is it because that their zealot count is so high that you need the hydras earlier, or is there timing a little bit different?
I might actually be misunderstanding this a little bit, but like the two main ways you can do it against gate fast expand, I feel like the most standard responses are to either do the get like a really fast, like around 2 minutes and 30 seconds ish gas, and get like an early wing speed, just to stop any zealot aggression, and then see if you can pressure. And then, you know, if you shut their zealot aggression down really quickly, you can either do the more aggressive wing version, or you can just transition into a regular 3-hatch Spire into 5-hatch Hydra game. Or alternatively, you can get a later gas around like 2 minutes and 50 seconds to 3 minutes, and you can either transition into a 3-hatch Hydra, like 973 type of thing, or do a more economic version of that where you just get an earlier hatchery, but your lair tech is delayed and you don't try to get Scourge for scouting and dealing with stairs.
Okay, I've seen Hero go 973 quite a bit against gate expand. I always thought, well, I've heard better Zerg players than me say that it's like not good to go 3-hatch Hydra, but I don't really know.
I mean, I've watched a lot of like Saxry play, for example, and he will go 3-hatch Hydra a lot against gate FE. Maybe there's probably some context clues that I've missed in my watching, something that triggers that reaction for him. But I think it's definitely viable.
Ooh, and that Corsair just getting away, but he is able to scout everything from the Zerg.
Yeah, and quite a few Hydras. Ben Elton, cannoning up behind. It looks like you're falling pretty far behind with this Hydra production.
Yeah, it's just bad judgment on my part. I already felt behind, and I figured his Zealot production was going to be ramping up. So it was something that I felt like I needed to do. Like, it's also because of, in my mind, I was thinking of that like 4-hatch play where I feel like one of the ways that you play it, or should be playing it, is to still be pressuring with the Hydra production. If not like going straight in and trying to kill their cannons, like pressuring their forge and seeing if you can pick any of those off.
Yeah,
so it's just like a scattered approach on my part.
Yeah, you may have been able to pick off the forge, although that is a lot of zealots, so I don't know. Probably would have been a bit tough. Looks like you have a huge army, but Ben Elton sees it and he's just turtling up behind 4 cannons.
Yeah, his cannon production sort of, I think, allowed me to scratch my way back into this. Because I really feel like he should have had a way higher supply right now. But his storm still isn't finished.
Yeah, and he's moving out with zealots, and +1, so these are going to tear right through these Zerglings.
Out here, I was expecting him to already have High Templar. That's why I was trying to like run around with these Lings and see if I catch something, but I couldn't. It's just Zealot.
And Ben Elton not really committing, just kind of poking around a little bit. He's gotten quite a few Overlords as well. The late layer, late Overlord speed, really hurting. Oh, he loses his Corsairs right there.
So yeah, here I'm still like terrified. I'm still thinking I'm just completely screwed. He's out-teching me, he has a better economy, he has more production. And, like, look at my drones on my third. Just 5 drones. I'm not even on. Maybe you can make a case that I'm like on a full 2 base economy right now, but just so under drone. It's really sad.
Well, Ben Elton is taking up fast third, it looks like, and he doesn't have any cannons there right now. He's relied on his cannons to defend his map, but now his army has to defend this third. And it looks like you're getting right on top of his army. We'll see if you're able to take out those Templar.
Yeah, this is quite a few zealots, but if you can pick off the Templar, I think that this is a... Oh, it's a good storm, but the Templars are getting picked off. Ben Alton slipping a little bit in the macro. I think if he had another round of zealots there, he might have been able to hold.
But now, this is so silly to watch. I feel like there should be like the Benny Hill theme playing right now, because I chased these zealots for so long, and I don't even catch them. I mean, zealots just die so slowly to hydras, but then he's also like outmaneuvering me here.
Yeah, Ben Alton trying to get a full map scout with this half control group of zealots.
Yeah, and he's able to catch some of these hydras isolated. These zealots with speed are pretty effective, like you're saying. They're able to outrun these hydras. He kind of tricks them. He might try to go for the third now.
And Keen looks like he's getting Spire and Lurkers. So would this be the play for the transition into Hive, or?
Yeah,
I guess
here I'm just once I killed his third, I was feeling I was definitely feeling better about my place in the game. So I'm just trying to transition. I'm placing another hatchery down. Eventually going into Hive. Yeah. Like I said, I'm taking that mineral only. Setting up some lurkers.
These zealots still running around.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
don't quite get to the fourth. I think they might have been able to pick it off if he ran straight there.
And Elton's still just producing zealots and Templar right now. He's very extremely across the map. It looks like Ben Elton doesn't really have much of his going on here right now.
Yeah, Ben Alton at 2-0. But that's not going to help too much against Mass Hydra. Oh, some big storms. But this might just be just too many Hydras.
Yeah, I was really banking here on the fact that he didn't have observers, which I didn't know for a fact, but I figured, like, I don't know, his whole game seemed a little unorganized as well. And I didn't even see him.
Yeah, this was kind of like an odd game too, so I imagine it's kind of hard to get the observer timing down.
Yeah. This was kind of the story of like all 3 games, personally, because I don't know, I felt like I wasn't able to get my proper opening build in any of them. I guess I just spoiled this, didn't I? Shit. Sorry about that.
It's alright. It's looking pretty rough for Ben Elton right now. Keen on 4 bases with enough drones. Ben Elton sitting on 2. Gonna mine out of the main pretty soon though. And it doesn't look like he has any opportunity to take a 3rd base. This is just a huge army from Keen.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any Templar out to kind of slow down these Hydras.
Yeah, and just Keen plowing straight through the front. Mowing down these zealots.
This was actually pretty sloppy from me, but I was finally gaining some confidence here, realizing I was ahead for like the first time in this entire series. thus far, so I just like just shove my hydro in there and don't even care what happens.
Yeah, this looks pretty good though. You've got a pretty good lurker contain on him, and from what I've heard, it's very hard to break lurker contains on Tau Cross.
Yeah, I mean, you can set up a pretty sizable lurker field. I don't know. Is it harder on Telcross than most maps?
I think so. The nat
Like-
choke is just so tight.
Yeah,
Like,
and
trying to
there's
get out of that
there's a lot of room out there for the lurker.
Yeah, I've seen games where Zerg builds a hatchery, just starts sunkening up right there too.
That's a great strategy. I think Reaver counts that, right? That's the only thing you can do.
I think so. I don't really know how it works.
Yeah, I think you have to go Reaver if you're stuck in that situation as Pro Top. This is actually in our Best of 9 series on in the way of an Eddy, where we had this weird 4-pool game that ended up transitioning into eventually like a kind of a regular game, where I wanted to do that. Inspired by Action. I remember seeing some Action game in KSL, I think, where he ended up making an offensive hatchery with the lurker contain in ZVP, which I always thought was like a super cool strategy.
Yeah, I always thought it was just really funny. I remember it happening all the time back on Medusa.
Oh,
I remember-
wait, did it happen on Medusa? I didn't even realize you could.
Yeah, it happened on the old Medusa, and they ended up replacing it with Neo Medusa, where you couldn't build in the middle anymore because it was such a problem.
I saw. Do you guys mind, or do you mind RoyalBlue if Chess joins our call? Because he's an experienced commentator as well, and I saw in chat. If Chess can actually join the game. And if he's actually here, he might be AFK right now. Maybe we should just go. I think he might be AFK.
Alright,
You
I'm
guys
back. Yeah. Were we trying to get someone else in here?
Yeah, but Chess is AFK right now, I think. So maybe.
Oh, okay. I might have to go after this one. I told my dad I would do something for him like almost an hour ago now.
Typical.
Alright, hold on.
Alright, here we go. Keen spawning the top left are Teal Zerg, and Ben Elton are Yellow Protoss in the bottom right. The map is this Overwatch? It looks like Overwatch.
So this is the deciding game 3.
Yeah, so I wasn't feeling super great coming into this, simply because I'm generally not a huge fan of Overwatch in any matchup, really. But ZVP, it just feels really hard to deny any kind of Protoss expansion.
Yeah, I feel like this map doesn't really mesh with your Hydra heavy playstyle. At least for all the Terran matchups, all the matchups tend to be really slow, and they tend to go towards like map split kind of games. Just because these bridges are very hard to cross. There's that little choke in the middle, and the high ground defender's advantage is so strong. So once you take that high ground, you only need a couple of units to defend this bridge, the bridge right outside the nat, and then you get that third base, and the fourth base is not too far from the third. It's just like a little bit further, so you end up sitting on 4 base for a long time.
Yeah, I always figured it was kind of a Terran's dream.
I don't know if I would.
I mean, as we saw in the game against Nepal, like it's probably hard to deal with like proxy gates a lot, and I also would imagine that this is a really good map for carriers in PvT.
Oh yeah, for sure. Any sort of 2-player map is just kind of a proxy heaven in PvT. It's just impossible to scout all the proxy locations. And carriers are quite strong on this map as well, for sure. It's just so choky, and there's so many cliffs.
So here, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. I think this is. I mean, I might be incorrect, but I don't think this is the best possible wall that Protoss can have, because there's going to be 2 gaps, I believe, above the wall. I think he needs 2 zealots to plug that, and then he needs another one in between the forge and the pylon.
I think it's 1 zealot above and 1 between the forge and the pylon, but that doesn't look too bad to me. I mean, on Circuit Breaker, for example, you're going to be having, like, what, 3 zealots to plug your wall, 2 or 3?
Yeah, that's true. I guess it's not too bad. I was tempted to try to do a Ling all-in here, though, but maybe that would have ended poorly.
Or maybe it would have ended well. Maybe he wouldn't have expected it after all those long games.
Yeah.
Well, he has played very safe with his cannons, so...
Yeah, he's been getting consistently like 3-4 cannons every game.
Yeah, and like I said, I felt like I hadn't gotten a proper opening build down in any of the previous games, so I really wanted to just have like a sense of normalcy and just go into a regular 5-edge Hydra macro game.
So we see 2 gateways before Cybernetics score for the Protoss?
Yeah, so I didn't get what I wanted, because this is not a standard opening build. This is really weird. I'm not even sure if this is like a thing that pro gamers do, or if it's just something that he made up. Do either of you know that?
I know there are some foreigners that like to like proxy like 2 or 3 gates or like do this kind of thing, but I don't know if it's like. I don't think it's a normal build for sure. And it looks like you scout it with your overlords, so you know that he has 2 gates right now.
Yeah, so I start making more Lings here, even more than I would usually, because after your second overlord, you're always going to want to make at least like 4 more Lings, just to deal with letting they do finally move zealots out. But I'm still kind of with my pants down here, and I need to make more Lings than I usually would.
So would you say that you're generally a pretty Ling heavy player?
I would say I have bad judgment.
Well, nice control from the cell.
It looks like
standing in that little small choke point.
Yeah, he manages to pick off one Zergling, 1 drone. That's pretty good return on a zealot.
But I'm just not sure. Like, I didn't have an image in my head of how many zealots I should be expecting.
Yeah,
because it was so early. I never play against this.
Yeah, Spire already going down, so it looks like Kane's gonna have pretty fast Mutalisks. There's not gonna be a Stargate to defend against this.
Yeah, so I figured he was transitioning into awful. Yeah.
Zergling's running right on in. 3 get inside.
Note at my 3rd right now, he's killing all those drones.
Oh my, yeah, he picks off 2 drones. These 3, I mean, you get 3 Zerglings in, but against 2 Gateway Zealot, they're not going to do too much. He cleans it up without any problem. The Zealot chasing this drone into the nat. 2 Zerglings are all that are here to defend. Still trying to pick off that drone. Oh, and he gets it. That's 3 drones with that 1 Zealot. He's going to be able to get a 4th? 2 hits, 3 hits. He gets a 4th drone with that 1 Zealot.
Now we have more zealots being streamed across the map, so this production.
Yeah,
is
zealots.
happening.
Zealots streaming in, but Keen even throwing on a sunken colony to try and defend. And it looks like Ben Elton getting legs and +1 just starting. First mutalisks are out. So he should be able to hold without too many problems. Maybe a couple more drone losses, but without speed, it's going to be hard for Ben Elton to really get anything accomplished.
Yeah, I really like this sunken decision from Keen to throw down like sunk as third when these gateways and this zealot pressure. And also these mutalisks, you know, they can't really get countered by these zealots right now, so this kind of shuts down this zealot play and forces the Protoss to build cannons in his mineral run.
Yeah, I think he was kind of forced into the Sunkens because he lost his Zerglings trying to break through the front. I think if he had just saved those, he would have been able to get away with this without building those Sunkens. I think they're really cutting into his economy, actually. He could have like a 4th hatch, probably be... Oh, sorry, he already has his 4th hatch. But he could have his 5th hatch right now if he hadn't have dropped those Sunkens. And it looks like it's going to be Muta back into 5-hatch Hydra.
Trying to sneak some zealots down the left side of the map.
Yeah, but Keen, I think, might have seen them come out. His Overlord's been
yeah.
floating over there the entire game. Yeah, so he catches them with no problem. Oh, nope. They fly right by. Swing right by. They're real fast.
Yes, they are. And I was just... Like I said, I was like kind of mentally frazzled at this point.
Yeah, and this
It was
Sunken...
just so weird.
It looks like it Keen holds with no problems, though.
But I'm 20 workers down. A bunch of drums just popped, but still.
Yeah, still quite behind. I don't think this is an awful position, though. Ben Elton is starting to produce Corsairs to try and counter these Mutalisks. Keen only has 7, though, so he didn't commit too hard to them. And he shut down the Zergling, or sorry, the Zealot harass. Ben Elton going into Ser DT. It looks like Overlord speed is not done yet. It's about a quarter of the way through. So this might be a little tough to hold. Although there is an Overlord at each base, so... Ben Elton will have to pick those off with his Corsairs before he can move his Dark Templar in. Keen droning up behind all of this. He's got his 3 bases pretty much saturated at this point.
And the Corsair is catching the Mutas now. Looks like one Corsair did die to Scourge, but these Mutas have to run away. I don't think they can take out 4th Corsair.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way they can fight that. The Corsair's at +1 as well, versus 0-0 Mutalisks. Keen throwing down his 6th hatch. Ben Elton killing his pylons so he can get his dragoons out. He's got his +1 done, his +2 just started. Keen's still on 0-0, his attack upgrade about halfway through. He's got some good map vision, but Ben Elton moving across the map with a pretty sizable force. Keen's gonna have to start pumping some Hydras if he wants to hold this. He has a decent number out already. Oh.
A lot of these Muta getting picked off.
Yeah, almost got a pick off on that last High Templar, but I think just by holding it off for a second, forcing out a storm, he should be able to hold pretty easily. Mutalisk's about to go down.
Kind of micro his Hydras back to the Zealots. These Corsairs are getting a lot of Overlord kills now.
Yeah, these Corsairs, there's just so many of them. 6 of them just flying around, murdering Overlords. Let's see, the High Templar get picked off. Where did the Dark Templar go? I swear I saw some. Oh, they're running right on in.
He ran them back to try to sneak them in after the Overlords were dead. But I saw him run them back, so I was expecting that. He was really close, though.
So Keen still kind of on the back foot here, I would say. He holds off the attack, but he's still a bit behind on... I think he's behind where he wants to be. Still pretty low
Yeah,
on the tech
definitely.
tree.
Yeah, it's already 11 minutes, and this is where I feel like it should be looking for Zerg in a normal game at the maybe 8:30, 9-minute mark, maybe even earlier than that.
Yeah, +2 on the way for Keen. Looks like Ben Elton taking his third base.
Losing all his
So
specials
Keen,
except one there in the middle of the map.
yeah, that's a big win for Keen. Those are pretty annoying.
He still picked off a bunch of overlords, though. This is actually a problem, like a consistent problem I have, where I group too many overlords in with my Hydras, and then as I'm moving the Hydras through the map, like the overlords just get picked off, and I end up supply blocking myself.
Yeah, those Corsairs just kill overlords so fast. And this is a huge army coming out of Keen. I think he has to do something about this third base, though. Huge army from Ben Elton as well. Oh my word. That storm.
But only
Killing
one
so
High
many
Templar.
Hydras. Yeah, he's missing a couple of High Templar, but Keen looks like he's backing up. Where's he going? I think
Here,
he could've...
I didn't realize the army that he had in that was so big. So
Yeah,
instead of engaging with it, I try to go attack his front, but I kind of messed myself up a little bit with that decision.
yeah, I think just ramming into the third, I think he might have been able to win that fight, or at least trade armies pretty well.
Yeah, I'm losing some overlords now and getting that whole army wiped out. It kind of got separated and then destroyed by the Protoss.
Yeah, and Keen taking his fourth base. Third gas already up, going into lurkers. Still not looking to be in a great position, but I think this isn't too bad.
Yeah, I'm still a little behind on workers, but it's somewhat close. And now that I'm getting my lurkers up, I'm finally feeling comfortable in this game for maybe the first time, really.
Yeah, this is a large area to try to defend with lurkers. Do you normally put them on the high ground here, or try to take like a middle position? I don't know.
At this stage of the game, or like relatively this stage of the game, yeah, I usually try to like hold that, and then I don't know. It's tough for me. I probably need to work on that a little bit more because it's also hard for me to like split the lurkers correctly between that high ground and also trying to make sure my fourth high ground is protected.
Yeah, and
I
it
watch
looks...
pro gamers do.
Yeah, this doesn't...
Protoss just suicide units.
Yeah, this doesn't look like a bad trade though. You're trading like a fourth for maybe like a control group of units.
But he also kills more Hydras here shit as well.
Oh no.
But because I killed that army, I'm still thinking like, okay, it's not the worst position in the
Oof.
let's remake.
Okay.
This might be... Oh, did I drop completely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll remake. We'll just...
Yeah, it's at 15 minutes. Getting invalid password.
Really? Let me try remaking. I think RoyalBlue, you might have disconnected from Balnet. I don't know about Roegi.
Alright. We're all back in.
Looks like. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I'm back. I'm ready to go.
So yeah, like I was saying, even though I lost that fourth, I was still feeling okay about it because he lost a pretty sizable army. So it wasn't the worst situation in the world.
Yeah, this doesn't look awful. It doesn't look great either, but it doesn't look awful. Looks like Keen on 2-0 against 2-0-0. 3-0 almost done for Protoss. Yeah, I think Keen should probably start moving towards. Should probably start going towards Hive Tech at this point. I would imagine. Just getting. I feel like getting stuck at 2-0 just looks so painful.
Yeah. I need to work on that for sure. My hive was too slow even for this style in like every game. But here, I don't even remember exactly what I was thinking.
Oof,
I guess
going.
I saw that he saw me scout his fourth, so I was kind of banking on the fact that his army would be on that side of the map, just in case I tried to do that. And then I saw his army moving a little bit, so here I'm thinking I can do a lot of damage with his backstab.
Yeah, and this might do some work, but you're gonna lose all these Hydras if he defends. And these TTs.
I actually lost way too much to those DTs.
Oh, these CTs are just butchering your army.
Yeah.
Look at that. We got
ridiculous.
4 kills, 6 kills, 5 kills, 7 kills. They kill almost a hotkey each of Hydras. Or sorry,
Yeah.
a hotkey total of Hydras. Yeah, I think if you manage to hold this.
And here I really want to go attack his fourth now, but I end up pulling back because he still has a pretty sizable army. I had no idea we were so close in supplies.
Yeah, the Zerg looking pretty safe though, with lots of lurkers on these high grounds. But Nelson kind of not sure where he should push. He might just get tracked here too, we'll see. There's storms going on. Yeah, now there's nowhere to run for these Bloodlines units. But he has managed to keep you back in the top right instead of punishing his expansion in the bottom left.
And here I have a huge lead. Lead in supply, he has no economy. I did not realize his economy was so weak, right? So I'm just trying to get my fifth up.
I don't hear you, Roegi. Are you talking?
Man, I'm gonna click on those 2 Archons when they finish, just see how many kills they have. I think that.
Just make sure if someone lags again, don't click enter or anything when it gets past 0.
Yeah, so the Archons have 19 kills between them, so between those storms, 19 kills. Yeah, they should all be Hydra kills. Maybe like 1 lurker or something, I don't really know.
They are all Hydra kills.
Oh, that's probably me.
Yeah, this is really for me.
Yeah, my computer doesn't like replays. It always starts lagging. There we go, there we go. So let's see, Hive is on the way for Keen. So if he can hold out a little bit longer, I think he's in a reasonable position now. If he can get a couple more upgrades, get some plague out, should be able to take this into late game. Ben Elton's already mined out of his main and Nat. His third is, he's still got a while on his third and his fourth. But Keen's on 4 mining bases right now. Gonna mine out of the Nat in third pretty soon though. Big force coming up into Keen's fifth, but it looks like he's gonna hold that without too much trouble.
Yeah, the Spore Colony was clutch, taking out an Observer, forcing these Protoss to back.
Yeah, Spore Colony's killing all of the observers. And it's funny because Spore Colonies don't move, but it's very hard to keep observers alive against Spore Colonies.
Yeah, they have nice range, I think.
Yeah, even with the observer upgrades, like they like to fly in and they die so fast. Ben Elton kind of falling behind in supply. I think he's just kind of leaking out units here and there.
Yeah, he's really focused on denying this base.
Yeah, he's trying really hard to deny this base, but I think that he should be trying to ball up a couple more units before moving out like this. It's a small engage in the middle of the map. Couple Hydras picked off. Keen's Hive tech is done. Adrenal on the way. Looks like he's going back into Carapace upgrades. Although he's pretty far behind on upgrades, so I don't know if Adrenalings are going to do very much. Although Ben Elton actually doesn't have armor upgrades, so they should be able to tear through all the Protoss units regardless. No Defiler mound started just yet, at least not that I see.
These Lurkers getting too far ahead and getting picked off.
Yeah, I will say that's something that I personally need to work on. I'm pretty bad with defilers, so a lot of the times I just get lazy and I don't even want to make them. But obviously that's not a good mentality for improving. There's only one way to get better at using.
Yeah, this is a pretty big army though. I think, I don't know, Defilers are pretty broken, man.
Yeah, even if you don't swarm, just using plague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't blame you though. In game 3, I would go with the strat I know the best, not necessarily the most optimal way.
Even making a few of them, like I really should have. Because plague is so good late game. If you get it on a ball of Protoss army, you know, it isn't the hardest thing to do, because Protoss tend to clump their armies.
A bunch of cracklings across the map now.
Yeah, huge number of cracklings. They're not upgraded though, so these zealots are just ripping through them.
Yeah, these things kind of
Oh, and
getting us around just yet.
huge storm. That bridge right there is just so hard to cross.
Yeah. And this is also just it's a bad habit to be so aggressive. I think I really need to work on that. But also, like Roegi was saying, in like a normal game, I would have had 3 evos up way earlier, and the cracklings would be so much stronger right now. So like these kind of reckless attacks where I try to just flood lings into different parts of the map is not as effective as it should be.
Yeah, 3/3 cracklings are so much stronger. They're just getting torn up by the zealots. It's like the lings are... Are there any other Evo chambers? I only see 1.
I have 2 of them.
Oh, I see 2 of them.
But yeah, I didn't even get a 3rd one this game. I don't know why. It was just a mistake, I think.
Yeah, 2/2 Hydras, but the Zerglings are still at 2-0. 3/2 Hydras at this point. It's not too bad. But the Cracklings, yeah, just aren't going to do any damage against even 1-1 on Protoss. 1 armor, 1 shield.
And here I'm finally realizing that like I only have 2 mining bases left. So I'm realizing I should have been planning this better and had that roll me up and I have a few lurkers that what I would have thought would be Ben Elton's 5th base. I should have just taken that earlier as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a huge gas bank too. I think you could have gone a lot more lurkers here.
More lurkers and filers would be another avenue to spend that gas.
Yeah, or I think even Ultralisk here would have been okay. Especially if you're just gonna ram into his nat like that.
Yeah, the crackling Hydro Lurker late game really needs the filers, I think.
So Ben Elton's throwing down a lot of cannons at his mineral only. He definitely knows he needs to defend this to keep his mineral income up, and he also is trying to deny that base on the left middle, which has a few lurkers to defend it. Ben Elton kind of getting caught here. He's too far out.
Yeah, do you see his probes at the mid only? They're like they're lost. They can't make it to the minerals. This is mesmerizing. I don't know if they're ever gonna make it. He just has 2 probes binding over there. Ben Elton is on 1 base right now until he can get his probes around there. Or on that little rock.
Using this defensive position on the middle left, storming everything that comes up this little bridge. Or this ramp.
Yeah. And Keen is on 3 pretty good bases right now. I don't know if he realizes though that Ben Elton's starting to mine out.
I was thinking that Ben Elton was like out of money for quite a while, honestly. That's part of the reason I think I'm being really sloppy with these engagements. Because I basically felt like I was already winning.
Yeah, and you just feel like you can outproduce him at this point, or at least your income is better than his.
Yeah, and these Zerglings just still don't have enough upgrades. This Archon is melting them. It's already at 19 kills, 21, 22, 23. Yeah, I don't think he's even behind at this point. I think the pressure is on Keen to do something to come back. This Zergling flood might not be the answer. It looks like Ben is pretty stable. If he can just get a couple more units up there, and he's got the Zealots streaming in, so that should be able to hold pretty easily.
This Archon is doing work. Now he's streaming into the mineral only, but realizes there's a bunch of cannons and Templar there and backs off.
Yeah, that mineral only doesn't really look breakable. I think maybe if he went down a little bit and cut off reinforcements, he might be able to break this base. Oh, actually looks like he's almost breaking through. That's so many storms though. And Ben Elton is just gonna barely be able to hold. But there's some more units coming in from Keen.
Yeah, Keen doing a really good job of keeping up the pressure on this left base, and it looks like he's finally going to be able to push through. Just needs to take out 1 Archon, 2 Zealots, and 4 Templar who are being forced to retreat right now. And this Nexus might just go down here as Kraken's getting there.
Yeah, this looks like a pretty good position for Keen. If Ben Elton had had some Reavers or something defending that high ground, I think it would have been unbreakable.
Looks like Keen's putting a lot of lurkers on this middle left base, and looks like he's going to try to defend it, maybe even expand to it with this drone right here, who's getting past the Protoss.
Yeah, Keen gonna take the last map on the base, or sorry, last base on the map. Got that a little backwards.
There's some Reavers coming in on now, or 1 Reaver.
Big storms, taking out a lot of Hydras.
And so just like right here, to also kind of explain why I thought it was a good idea to do that, was not only because I thought I was really ahead, but like Roegi, like I was saying again, like the upgrades just weren't there for my lings. And so I really feel like my units were just not doing as much as they would in like a regular like game scenario.
Yeah, these 1-3 Zerglings just don't do anything. They can't kill these zealots. And Alton reinforcing his group, and I think this Reaver should be able to push right up that ramp. There's nothing defending anymore, just a handful of lurkers. Just walking that Reaver up. 1 hit, 2 hits.
These Zerglings trying to cut off reinforcements, but another group of zealots gets this army. And yeah, like you were mentioning, the Reaver's just picking off lurkers.
But yeah, here especially, if I had invested in ultras, like some kind of high tech unit other than cracklings,
Yeah.
I could have just overwhelmed this. I just needed something that can actually deal with the upgraded Archons and not just die. So.
Yeah, these Archons are doing so much work. 13 kills on one, 10 kills on the other. Ben Alton missing some probes on his 4th base as well. He could have a lot more Archons. It's been like that the whole game, just 1 probe.
Yeah, and it looks like the Zerg is now being forced off this base, and the Protoss now has possession of it.
Yeah, Keen still has a big bank, so he might be able to just outproduce and break this army. If he can break this army and deny this 9 o'clock, I don't think that Ben will have enough resources to come back. He's mining out on all of his bases. He's on only his mid-only at this point. Keen's still mining from 3 bases, but he's gonna mine out of that corner base shortly. Keen's still trying to push up this ramp. A probe sent in, but it can't build anything because of the leftover creep.
And I'm still being reckless with my units because I'm thinking there's no way that he still has any bank.
Yeah,
so
that's
if I
a
just keep
pretty.
up the flood. It's going to break him.
Yeah, that is a pretty big army from Keen, from you. But still a huge bank. I think like you could build like 24 lurkers right now. Ben Alton has a huge army too, though. Moving across the map. Looks like this is a really good position for him to take. Like I like that he's been going up towards this bridge because it cuts off unit flow from this big ramp into the 9 o'clock base. It looks like he's just gonna break through this army.
When I saw this in the game, like, this was not the outcome that I was expecting. Because I feel like I got a really good Archon. But again, that's what happens when you don't have the proper upgrade.
Yeah, these Zerglings just really aren't doing anything. These Zealots are so upgraded. Everything's so upgraded. Protoss almost on 333.
Yeah, now this mineral only base going down, which really does hurt King because he's not really mining minerals from any bases except his middle right base.
Yeah, and these Zerglings finally get +2, but I think that might be too little, too late. Losing this mid only, yeah, is really hurting Keen. His income is cut in half at this point. He still does have a lot of leftover drones though, so if he can transfer to this 9 o'clock, get mining back up and running, he might still be able to outproduce and win. Ben Elton's still only on 1 base. And he's going to be mining out of it in, I don't know, maybe a minute or 2.
Yeah, I think Ben Elton doing a great job of controlling the center and kind of cutting off this base, so he is unable to get drones to it right now.
Yeah, this is some good army positioning. Now he needs to burrow these lurkers. Here they come.
Oh, here come the drones.
Oh no. Some big storms on the drones. Ben Elton still has a lot of storms left. Oof, brutal storms. But does he have enough to break up this ramp? I don't think he does. Although, it looks like a shuttle coming in with a Reaver to once again walk up and just poke away at this base. Keen is completely... he's pretty much mined out at this point. Money is just trickling in.
Yeah. He's only got like 4 mineral patches left, looks like.
And this Reaver might be enough to seal the deal for Ben Elton.
Yeah, very patient play from Ben Elton right now.
Yeah, he knows that this is all he needs. He just needs this one base.
Wow, big Zerg army moving across the middle though. If these workers can burrow,
Yeah.
it would be a great position for Zerg.
Huge army. If he can take out this this force, I think Ben Elton doesn't really have any way to reproduce either. This is the last fight. Yeah, those are
coming in, but one Reaper does get picked off trying to reinforce.
Oh, these are some big storms. Yeah, there's no real way for there's just no way for Keen to kill this Reaver. This Reaver, I wish you could see how many kills it has. But it's just firing away. Get
At
that.
this point, I'm still like trying to figure out how he's been producing units.
He's still eking them out, but he's pretty low right now. Oh, this Reaver is going to go down, I believe. Oh, not quite.
Oh man, this is so
Oh
close.
no.
Oh, that Archon goes down, and the Reaver has 5 HP.
Oh, that 5 HP Reaver killing every drone
Shutting
in
down
this
all
base.
Mineral mining. He has 42 minerals left.
This lurker finally takes it out, but I don't know if Keen can fight this army. I don't think he can. He has 5, 6, 7, 8 lurkers against this huge Protoss ball. And I don't think there's any way to get these workers transferred over either.
Yeah, this
We'll see.
Protoss is
He's
very cost efficient.
Keen starting to long distance mine from the mineral only base. He still has a couple workers in the top right corner as well.
Oh my god, I had Hydras there too that I...
Yeah, and a small group of Hydras. That could have made the difference, in all honesty. Oof. Ben Elton just poking away with these storms. It looks like Keen got the observers with the Scourge, so Ben Elton's push is halted for a little bit.
Look at this interesting play. He's building cannons around the bottom left side of this base. And it looks like
Yeah,
he's
Ben
going to be
Elton.
able to force Keen off of it.
Yeah, Ben Elton trying to, I guess, deny reinforcements? Interesting.
I don't really understand that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one either. These Scourge, I guess if Keen can hold with these Scourge against observers, he might be able to claw a win out of this, but it's not looking too hopeful for him.
Ben Elton going to shut down this mining at the mineral only, which was only long distance mining, but it was really Keen's only source of income for right now.
Yeah, picking off a couple drones. Keen's trying to get these drones somewhere, but there's nothing left on the map to mine except for this mineral only and the 9 o'clock, and they certainly aren't getting to that 9 o'clock base.
Well, Ben Elton's about to mine out of his mineral only as well.
Oh, there's the observer. If
More
Keen
drones.
can pick this off, I don't think he can. Oh, there it is.
Oh!
Oh, not quite, not quite. There's a second observer coming in anyway. I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah, one lurker
Yeah.
left and one Scourge to defend this base, the critical base, and GG is called by Keen.
Yeah, so
Good game. That was a close one. Ben Elton almost mined out there too. He was on his last legs as well.
yeah, that was one of the most disappointing losses I've ever had. And it only made me feel worse when I watched the replay.
That's bad feeling right there, yeah.
I had no idea I was so far ahead in the mid game, and there was a point where I could have actually, instead of just like pouring units into trying to like break his natural, if I just set up a lurker field outside of his fourth and just attacked up with hydras, I would have just ended the game right there. But like I had
Yeah,
multiple opportunities to just kill him, but I just made the worst possible decisions every time and didn't realize.
yeah. I think on Overwatch in particular, just trying to push across that bridge into the natural is really tough. I think I don't know if this is true for ZVP, but at least in TVP, you always want to go for that like bridge outside of the third. Because once you control that, you kind of control unit flow throughout the whole map. There's a little bridge, but it's just if you have a small group right across, it's very hard to cross. All right, I'm gonna have to go.
All right, let me talk to Chess again and see if he wants to jump in. Is that cool, bro?
Yeah,
All right, take it easy, guys.
And he also mentioned in chat that you are a little quiet compared to Roegi. And I'm also going to be right back. Just
Okay,
for a
yeah, no
bathroom
worries.
break.
I'll just try to get this sorted out, and then we can get into this final series. Hey, Chess, are you there? Would you like to join the cast? Is it any better now, maybe?
All right, I'm back. So Chess is down. I'll add him to the call. Oh wow. I just have to add him. I thought I had him added on Discord, and then I'll add him. Oh man, yeah, that was a real heartbreaker for me because I really wanted to at least get into the finals, but like on multiple levels, like obviously I wanted to win and have Saving be the number 1 team in this tournament at least, but also just for the viewers because I know that PvP isn't exactly the most popular matchup. I'm not a fan of any mirror, even ZVZ. Honestly, I think TVT might be my favorite mirror. ZVZ is just. I hope I don't get ZVZ in any of the weeks of CPL that I play because I really don't want to practice for that at all. Yeah, but at least there's obviously very clear things to fix for me. Like one of them is just getting into those situations where you're unfamiliar, like at the very beginning with that build. I mean, so next time I play against something weird like that, I'll be that much better at kind of staying calm. But also getting into that late game, just late game experience. I probably don't have enough late game experience on Overwatch, late game in ZVP in general. So like now I know I just need to practice the filers. Like they're just really good. Even if you don't swarm, just Plague is so good. As a Protoss player, late game when you get a Plague on like half of your army or something, it feels so bad because then it's still taking up supply, but those units are half as effective as they should be. Yeah, and for any other CPL players available, like I'm sure everyone's coaches tell them that. I think one of the best ways to improve is to like just try to watch every single loss, even if you think you already know why you lost and you want to just like power through and go on to the next game. I'm sure even pro gamers that aren't going to know every single little thing that went wrong. And even though it really sucks watching yourself lose, I think it's worth it. Chess should be back any minute now. He just said he was going to get water and go to the bathroom. Unfortunately, none of us are Protoss players either, so I know a little bit about. Well, no, I can. I guess I have some general knowledge of how it should look, but I don't really know the details of like which builds counter other builds and. But it. Well, I would think Ben Upton. I honestly, I literally know nothing about Jedi One except that I think he's a Russian Protoss. Um, but Ben Elton seems pretty strong so far. Like I said, I won the 9-game series against him. Other than that, he hasn't dropped any matches so far in CPL. He won his round 1 match against Art of Turtle 2-1, and then he won this week as well against Jedi 1. He won 2-0 this week against Jedi 1, so I would give him. I I guess he'd be the clear favorite for sure, right? Chess is taking the longest bathroom. I'm wondering if the edibles have already kicked in. Oh, is he in chat now? If you're listening, Chess, just accept my friend request on Discord. Hello?
Yo, hey, I'm here.
Yo. All right.
What's going on, man?
Game is up on what?
It's up? Okay, hang on. Is this Nebline?
No, it's
Versus Jedi?
Jedi 1 against Ben Elton.
Against Ben? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you caught the games, but Jedi won pretty handily. 2 quick games.
Yeah, I didn't see. I was just watching yours and Ben's.
Yeah.
Which
What
was
are your
pretty
thoughts
good,
on
man.
that series? Yeah.
I mean, you know, I think Protoss has a lot of tools.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of things in their toolbox they can deploy, and yeah.
You know, Zerg has a lot of tools too, but I was playing without my hammer that game.
Yeah, I can understand, man.
So
Shit, man. All right, so we're going in, and now can you give me up to speed? This is best of
3 on
best
the
of 3.
same maps that we played this week in CPL.
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
we'll watch Tower Cross fighting.
Okay, sweet. And this is going to be winners final or grand final?
Yeah, this is a grand final.
Grand final? What?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, then. All
We're
right.
playing for the title of best CPL team.
So this is it, huh? Okay.
I think
All
this
right.
is best CPL player, not necessarily
Early
team.
mid-season best CPL player.
Gotcha. Early mid best CPL player. All right.
So congratulations to both these players, Ash Jedi 1 and Ben Elton, for reaching the finals and proving they are some of the top players in the league.
I keep forgetting to ask. I really want to ask Ben Elton how he chose his name, because you would think with a name like that, like this just is in real life name, right? But George, our very own CPL player George, I always thought that his name was just George in real life, but then I saw someone in Twitch chat ask, because his Twitch ID is George, and he was just like, no, I just like that. I thought it was an interesting name.
I thought it was an interesting name. I mean,
which is just mind-blowing to me.
Everybody has this story about their ID, you know, but some of them are a little bit cooler than others, you know. Some of them are just absurd. I hope Ben Elton, you know, has he played in the CPL before? Does he have any other AKAs?
I don't think so. I never saw him before.
I mean, is it kind of surprising to you amongst now CPL Season 5 that we've got these kind of like out of left field, you know, heavy hitters so far?
It is, but I've heard before our match, like Strong Carlin and Least were saying that Ben Elton, some people were saying he's like the new Tim, which would imply that he's like a relatively new player. But I swear, the way he plays makes me feel like he's a little more old school. So I don't know. I'll have to talk to him about that.
Word.
Yeah, I feel like CPL.
Most of all, I just want to figure out where his name came from. Anyway, sorry, go on, RoyalBlue.
Oh, I was saying CPL is a great place for new players who are, you know, just picking up the game, but also older players who are just returning and looking to get their skills kind of back up to speed.
Boy, can I tell you, it is a joy to cast without having to like be the observer for the stream. I've not really done this much. Yeah, that is a tree. Anyway, you're right though, Royal. Regarding CPL, I just want to put the plug out there. Mid-season 5 right now. You'd be surprised the kind of impressions and hits that like Coach Pupil has gotten in the off season and between seasons. People guiding people to the sign up thread and joining. In the Discord, someone's like, "Oh, I just joined. Like, what do I do? How do I sign up?" Blah blah blah. So I'm not surprised that people are coming out of the woodwork, even at the higher levels. Capable of taking down B and A level players. So yeah, PvP on FS.
Yeah, and both players doing the exact same build. So 1 gate tech with a cybercore delayed a little bit to get that first zealot out, which I think is probably about as standard as you can get in PvP.
Yeah, and we have Ash Jedi 1 in the top left and Ben Elton in the bottom left. It's like in black, and Ash Jedi 1 playing in pink. So both players kind of looking identical right now. It looks like Ben Elton's going for 2 zealots, where Ash Jedi 1 just going for 1.
That's actually the result of Jedi 1 getting the scouting advantage. See, Ben Elton is he's not even exactly sure where Jedi 1 is.
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't know if he's going 2 gate or what, like if he needs to expect more zealot pressure. Even just if he was going 2 gate zealot, I think Ben Elton would be in trouble right now.
This kind of exercise, like we're seeing the probe just dance around, is a really good, for those players like looking to like get their multitasking up. There's a lot of good maps that have you micro a worker. Oh, as I say this, okay. Well,
that was a nice micro by Jedi 1.
The crazy caster
by both of them actually. But
I just had a probe. The probe just got smited from the universe because of my about to compliment Jedi's control there. But anyway, I love the multitasking maps that basically yell at you, like,
yes.
you stupid idiot, like spend 1,000
one.
minerals, you dumb chobo.
Yes. It's like, way to encourage me, guys.
Yeah. So in PvP, we were talking. Well, Chava, you were just, we were talking about all the tools in the Protoss disposal. Now we get to see 2, crazy Toss wielding everything at their disposal. What do you think is like pretty straightforward PvP mid-game meta? Like, some people go down the Templar tech route, but most people end up Observer, Shuttle, Reaver, to supplement the Ruin army.
Yeah, that is generally the most standard, like Dragoons, especially Dragoon, Reaver armies. And that's exactly why you see both of our players going up to 2 gates now, but also making their robo facility right as close to their choke as they can.
Mm-hmm.
So they can actually get that Reaver to crawl down and protect their choke, protect their natural, just that little bit faster.
Yeah, yeah.
And we are seeing 3 gateways now from Ash Jedi 1 with a little bit later tech, it looks like. So we'll see if he decides to go for some kind of early pressure. But like you were saying, those Reavers on the ramp are very strong at holding that ramp. So I'm not sure why he's opted for 3 gateways right now.
Yeah, I think it's just another starting option for Protoss. I think with the 3 gates, he's going to want to get underneath Ben Elton's ramp and contain him there. I think Ben Elton should have a little bit of a build order advantage. But if you, like what he's doing right now, if he just makes sure that he gets outside of his choke and gets his natural up, I think he should have comparable production. Obviously, he's going to have more goons. Jedi 1 will have more goons, but if Ben Elton just holds on and gets the expansion up before Jedi, he should be good.
Yeah, we'll have to see if Ash Jedi 1 is able to micro his goons effectively against this Reaver that's coming out and the shuttle is being built after it. Ash Jedi 1 going for a big Dragoon push here. Let's see if he's able to push back Ben Elton up his ramp.
Oh, but this is actually terrible.
Oh, jeez, yeah. Goons are just getting kind of picked, and Ben's units were on a move command up to the left.
And Ben Elton moving out without realizing what Jedi 1 was actually doing.
Okay.
He must have thought that he was doing the exact same build, or maybe an even lower gate. build.
Yeah, so his posture kind of like unfurls now as the zealots say, "Okay, I'll go this way." Okay, we'll go this way.
It went
that's
from
nothing.
even to Ben Elton being at a huge disadvantage. And
The Reaver shots.
Yeah, forcing the Dragoons to back off, and the shuttle is out now. There's good scouting pylons and a probe in between the bases, so I don't think he's going to be able to go for a Reaver counterattack. He's just going to have to try to push down his ramp, I think.
But if Jedi 1 gets a better arc around that ramp, it will be incredibly difficult for Ben Elton to get down. Even though Reavers outrange Dragoons, it will be super easy for Jedi 1 to respond to any kind of like Reaver harass by just walking up. And I mean, Ben Elton will have to be on point with his shuttle micro.
Here he is trying to get down that ramp. Two of his Dragoons going the wrong way, which is always unfortunate. And now he's being pushed back up the ramp again. Yeah,
that's why it's so hard to get down the ramp. The units, Brood War has notoriously stupid AI, and Dragoons are the most notorious.
Oh my god. The seeing the two of them freak out trying to retreat back the other way, but the Reaver is such a slow moving unit that they were just having a little goon meltdown.
We saw Ben Elton trying to sneak a couple zealots in, but Jedi 1 wasn't having any of it. They just get shut down without doing anything.
Yeah,
there's a lot of anti-Protoss sentiment out there. I think that everybody should try to micro goons like this, and then we could all kind of chill on Protosses just a little bit because it is pretty frustrating.
Yeah, one thing that Dragoon micro is just mind-bogglingly difficult to me. Like I cannot, I just can't micro against anything with Dragoon. I can't even get the range properly when I'm trying to like siege a bunker in early game PvP. I always just end up running them in.
Some good Reaver control here, able to take out a number of Dragoons. It's going to be very close. The Reaver goes down. There's 3 Dragoons for Ben Elton, now 2. This is very close, but Ash Jedi 1 actually forced to back off. Unfortunately for Ben Elton, Ash Jedi 1 has already set up his natural expansion, and he's able to keep pressuring Ben Elton. So unless Ben Elton is able to get something done here very quickly, he could be, seeing a long game where he's behind.
Considering the shuttle and Reaver losses, it's not surprising to see that little bit of supply edge, but he's moving the goons in again. A good scarab so far.
Yeah,
now it's turned into like hemorrhaging losses for Jedi now.
Yeah, and Ben Elton is fighting closer to his production and has produced enough units to kind of protect that Reaver and stay alive, so he's looking comfortable. He might even try to expand here.
I will point out that Ben Elton finally realized that for quite a while now he's had 2 probes on gas, which I don't believe was intentional because he's had a huge mineral surplus.
You can see the disparity, like 700 to 100. Yeah.
So he finally fixed that, but I think it was hurting him for quite a while.
Now Ash Jedi 1 has his own Reaver out, so we'll see if Ben Elton can do a counterattack in this timing where he has a shuttle out and he's a little more mobile with his Reaver. Ash Jedi 1 making the correct call and retreating back.
Kind of nerve-wracking watching a shuttle, right? Just shuttles are just an anxiety-prone unit. Like they're anxious for the controller and the people on the receiving end. I have terrible shuttle-related schema in my brain about just getting dropped, getting stormed, DTs, zealots. I have anxiety just watching this right now. Oh, Reaver versus Reaver.
And if he gets a hit in that middle line, he can kill a lot of pros. But
nice reaction.
Oh, dude, bug out.
Yeah.
That was the right kind of way to do it, like drop it, and then you saw he did the camera hotkey, grabbed his workers, and then that scarab bomber, 2 goons, a little bit too friendly on the bridge. So now Ben's gonna say, okay, we'll go home. Discovering this pylon that Jedi left here.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I kind of like that's unique to PvP is the fact that Protoss kind of make a ring of pylons around the map just to see shuttle movement.
Mm-hmm.
But that one may be a little too close to Ben Elton's base. He doesn't really have to invest anything to go kill it.
So now we see both these players adding in a forge. It looks like Ash Jedi 1 is going for a Citadel of a Dune as well. So they're getting kind of out of this Dragoon Reaver phase and maybe trying to get some more tech in there as well.
Oh. See what he can do. 2 Reavers now for Jedi. One died. I think one just died. Yeah,
Yes,
and
one
still
died.
got the one left. Oh, quick. Pick
This
up,
is a
drop
close
it.
battle here.
Oh! One more scared there. Okay, Ben's Goon's falling,
Wow.
but his Reaver's still healthy. 3 kills on Ben's Reaver. And Jedi's Reaver is going to scarab another day here. Sneaking around. God,
Just a hit or two from Dragoon away from dying. So
He's like a hit or two, yeah.
let's see how many
There
throws
he's
he can
landing
get
in the
there.
natural.
Oh. Really good reactions from both these players.
And this
Oh!
Scarab might die too. Yeah, it just dudded out.
That one just dudded. Yeah.
Here's another drop though, and this could catch a lot of probes as they all kind of grouped up.
Oh!
Oh, and it
Oh,
does
shovel.
too.
Okay. Economy, 400, 400-ish, like, there's that balance. So he's adding on Forge and stuff. Got Templar too. Although, you know what, Ben still was, his whole base was just like a little bit later. He's got guys on now. What kind of upgrades do you think really work out? Because I know that different people have theories. Well, not, there's just, you know, it's an oft-discussed topic, like what kind of upgrades should you be getting? The attack, you know, does that benefit you technically versus defense or armor types or damage types? Do you usually always see the plus attack here?
Honestly, yeah, I'm really not sure what is prioritized in PvP.
Yeah.
I would think it's kind of a balance thing. Like you're going to be going hard ground army the entire game, so I would guess maybe
Seems they're both favoring plus attack.
Then Elton
Yeah,
getting
that-
his army cleaned up, and then he tried to send a shuttle into the natural, and it just died to those 2 cannons with the Reaver inside it. So that was very nice defense from Ash Jedi 1, as he looks to be taking a little bit of a lead, potentially taking his 3rd base as well. Both players kind of not sure if they want to expand yet. And there's Ash Jedi 1 taking his 3rd base, again ahead on expansion timing to Ben Elton.
Favorable, 2 unfavorable trades for Ben in the recent fights, and I think like when you're on equal economy, that gives Jedi this like nice posture. Sometimes like you play with confidence after having a few spars go your way, you know, and then so he's taking that top middle.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting too, even though Jedi 1 has had an advantage for most of the game because of his. They've been mirroring each other quite a bit, and they both sent the probe to their 3rd at about the same time, even though Ben Elton's is a little delayed. Like I think it's really interesting to see how they both have pretty close to the same idea of how they want to be playing this matchup out. And I think it also speaks to the fact that they're probably really close in skill level.
Yeah, for sure. Ben is aware of the developments at 12 o'clock with his observer.
The 6 o'clock expansion, or the hopes of the 6 o'clock expansion getting shut down by that Zealot.
So this is up there on the things that make me real salty real fast. When I didn't have vision of a base in the fog, so I'm like, you know, I'll just send a worker there. And then that worker gets harassed by 1 Zealot or 1 Marine or something. It's just terrible. Okay, Jedi's moving.
Getting
Crossing the
that
bridge.
shuttle with the Reavers sniped. Was that 1 Reaver or 2 Reavers?
I think 2.
Either way, very
Not
good
sure.
for Ben Elton.
Yeah.
Still at a supply disadvantage. End of worker did.
Templar switch is coming. So there's like 5 High Templars now. Storm is like 20-30%.
Yeah, now
And-
both players are mixing in Speed Zealots and Templar as well, like you were mentioning.
You would
And-
think that shuttle usage for like Zealot drops would be a lot more. I don't know. As a non-Protoss, that's how I'm looking at this. Like, I would send a shuttle into the main and, like, I don't fuck stuff up when this is happening.
The hole for Ben Elton is just getting deeper and deeper, though, as he still hasn't gotten his third base up.
Yeah, he needs to get something done now,
both,
and I think he knows
both
that.
of the players have mined out their mains. So Ben Elton is just on 1 base against 2 right now.
Okay, but suboptimal Templar, some High Templars are just dying, doing their thing. Oh, but the shuttle's dead! Reaver's dead.
This DT is gonna go down.
Can the storms come? The research isn't done, so he makes Archon. Oh, there's wait, it is.
Oh, this is a lot of Dragoons, though. And this might be a critical mass of Dragoons, actually. It's gonna depend on
he's got a lot of shots at once right now. He's got a lot of shots at once. Enough to get straight into the Zealots' HP.
Ooh, nice storm. He's kind of being forced back now. He needs to keep producing it. Hopefully, if he can keep this push going, he might be able to shut down this expansion.
Yeah, now all his gateways have Zealots rallied out, but that High Templar switch, like it stormed a couple times, but okay. Here's the Zealot crew. Now we have to just add APM to Ben Elton as he kites away. Oh, okay. No third though. You feel the hole. You said that Ben's in a hole because, I mean, he's just got so many probes not doing anything at the main, and the Nat is looking pretty saturated too, so you're just like, Ben.
Wow, this is so many Zealots coming out from Ash Jedi 1. He's kind of able to force these dudes back and actually get on top of them with these Zealots and kind of trap some of them. Usually Dragoons trade well against Zealots, but once they get speed, it kind of becomes more of an even battle.
Yeah, I think at this point Ben Elton is just committed to, like, he saw his success with that attack, he's just going all in. He's never going to get another base up.
Okay, so
see what these DTs can do. I don't think there's any observers out for Jedi 1 right now.
Yeah, he started an observer, but there's going to be plenty of time for this DT to do damage to the Protoss. 2 more DTs coming in, and it's going to snipe out these High Templar, maybe even this Reaver. He's trying to block this DT on the ramp, but it's getting through. Now he's taking damage on his Nexus. That Reaver is taking some hits from the DT. There he goes, he gets that first DT. And now these DTs are forced to retreat.
Yeah, Nexus falls, so that's
something, but I don't think it'll be enough.
You know, his attacking has just had to be reinforced consistently, so he's never had that luxury of saving for the third base, even though his probe got chased away anyway. And now Jedi 1 is like concerned maybe there's a secret in the bottom right. Nope. So
yeah, this is what I was trying to kind of allude to in my games though too, where it's like you really need to try to stay calm and, like, I guess not get too committed, not get too overcommitted.
You should toe the water of certain macro ideas and concepts sometimes to allow you the freedom to avert course necessarily. Like, I want to stay for the third, but actually, speaking of thirds, he's sent a bunch of DTs and Zealots to kill the 12 o'clock.
He shut down both mining nexuses from Ash Jedi 1, but he did lose a good amount of units, and I don't know if he's going to be able to replace those, considering he only has 1 mining base himself.
Yeah, but now he has enough. Now it's reset. He's got 600 something minerals and a wave producing.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know. There's a big army though. Yeah, that's a big ass army. I don't know.
Now, I think. Although Ben Elton is making quite a lot of archons. One thing about army composition, I will say, in PvP is that it's much easier to make a bunch of speed zealots and archons than it is to have high Templar, dragoons, and reavers. So, well, let's see how this goes.
Okay, yeah. I mean, a nice amount of zealots to front line for Ben, but a lot of goon shots still and a good sword.
I think.
More goons and a little more trickle coming from Jedi, and that's going to be it here.
And GG is
GG. Okay, GG.
But yeah, if I was playing Protoss in CPL, that's definitely the style that I would lean heavily toward. Just getting mostly zealots and archons, and just moving.
You could tell that he was flowing a lot, right? And he never, as we were talking about, got that money for that third, and just said, "I'm going to lean on the gas," you know, like, and we'll see. And that's my ticket. That's my set my win condition that way, you know. I find oftentimes you're just like maybe executing a build without an end goal, or like not creating a goal based on the things that have happened. So I could see how maybe Ben was like, I'm just gonna do some DT switch. I'm just gonna lean into it, but he never didn't.
It's just really easy to get caught into the frenzy in Brood War because the game is so fast. When we're watching from these replays, it looks so slow, but when you're actually playing, there's so much going on at any given time.
No, I've watched all my own FP VODs where I'm just like, for some reason, I'm just, whenever I return to my production, I'm just so frantic about everything. I'm just clicking, why do I suck? I'm just like spamming multiple. It's just so frantic and stressful. So we've been there, man. All right.
The game is up.
Yep.
I think if he had set up that third base, he would have been fine, especially if he had just found a good time to produce while keeping pressure on Ash Jedi 1. But we'll see here in the second game on Tau Cross. Again, if Ash Jedi 1 wins this, he wins the whole tournament. So there's a lot of pressure on Ben Elton to win this game.
Oh yeah, and one thing I'd like to add is it feels so bad in a best-of series when you're down, especially obviously best of 3 because this is your last chance to match point. But yeah, that was a big downer for me personally against Ben Elton. At least in a best of 5 series, you have a little more of a cushion, but yeah, it's a huge luxury to be up.
Yeah, Ben Elton as the green Protoss, he's down here in the 5 o'clock, and then it looks like maybe around 10 o'clock we have Ash Jedi 1 as the gray Protoss.
You know, Ben, he had high potential, right? I mean, I think that potential's there. This is Tau. It's a little bit funkier now because of the lack of ramps, for which we were, talking about Goon AI and movement there. Now without a ramp to the net.
Right. Yeah, well, what I was wondering at the beginning of the game is, there's no ramps, no high ground ramps rather. So
yeah,
immediately I would think like 2-gate would be that much stronger to get some early zealot harass in. But I do know on Tau, like Terran, for example, can, I think at every position, block their choke completely with just the depot. But I'm wondering if Protoss can do the same with the pylon, but what the pylon, like, can units move past the pylon?
I think it makes a tight seal. I've been pylon blocked and had my own drones trapped inside and not been able to get out.
But
so
this is very strange to me what we're seeing right now in game, because both players started 1-gate, but
no
Jedi 1 is
from
continuing to do a 1-gate tech path. But Ben Elton hasn't taken his gas yet.
Yeah.
And he has his forward pylon as natural.
Maybe he's gonna forge expand? I don't know exactly
no core or gas yet.
I don't think that's the build though. I think like 12 Nexus or
Oh, and he got pylon blocked. Oh,
Is
did
a
you
build,
want
but you definitely don't get your gateway first. So
Now he's
whatever
getting
Ben
his
Elton was
gas
playing,
and a
yeah.
forge.
very strange to me. Maybe he was planning on going fast Nexus, but then decided not to when he got blocked.
He kind of waffled on the idea, and then it was.
So now I think it's just a strictly worse version of what Jedi 1 is doing.
When that block happened, Ben had about 370 something minerals and a probe there.
Yeah,
So-
That was a forge. I thought that was a cord. Wow, this is very strange. Okay, so a forge. Gate forge expand. I've never seen this before.
You know, PvP values goons so much. I don't really see this much either. It's kind of like a PvZ build, except not using the wall much at the net.
Yeah, the way I understood it is like 12 Nexus. You get the Nexus first, obviously, and you get fast gateways to start producing more zealots than the other Protoss will be able to deal with. And then you get cannons up. And then with your stronger economy, you transition into a regular tech path.
I would have expected 2-gate from either one of them, but neither of them did it. Oh, Zealots moving in. Yeah, now they're on HP, no shields. Nice little block there. Oh, they squeaked through, but not really effective.
Getting one probe. That's it.
That's it. Okay,
Now
that
he
feels
needs
bad.
These cannons to defend, that's pretty much all he's got. And cannons really aren't that strong. And here's a proxy robo coming out from Ash Jedi 1. So
Yeah.
he might be going for a Reaver out here in the middle of the map, which could
And
just
this
walk
is-
up to these cannons.
Yes, exactly. This is like the counter to the 12 Nexus build.
Yeah, and he's correctly realizing Ben Elton really has no units right now, so there's no way he can even pressure this
Damn.
proxy if he knows it exists anyway.
You know, you love Protoss. You can just build stuff wherever you want. Just put it right there. Walk it to where you need it.
Hey, we were talking about
very easy, very simple.
Zerg building hatcheries right outside the expansion on Tower Cross and putting sunken slayers.
Yeah,
It's a
that
viable build.
I'm guilty of proxy hatchery shenanigans even in League games before, so I can't say anything.
It just takes a certain amount of
Gusto.
guts, yeah. I was looking for a nice way to say it.
So you think the Reaver's next, and then he's just going to siege up here on the cannons?
Yeah, it looks like the robotics is almost done here, and yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't go for a Reaver first. And there's one gateway. He's going for a
just
Templar Archive,
still
but the
one gate still.
observatory is already finished. Yeah, this is tons of pressure for Ash Jedi 1. He's just decided, I'm ending the game now. There's no way I'm going to let a Forge fast expand happen.
You know, Ben needs to see sort of the dividends of this come back to him really soon, like within a minute or so.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Because
bought some
the
time.
Reavers, he's bought time. The Reaver's almost out.
Yeah, I don't really know what recourse he's going to have once this Reaver comes out. He might be able to delay with DTs. It looks like he is producing 2 DTs right now. But there is an observatory. and
Yeah,
he's getting
and
one
observer's
right
coming
now,
out next.
So I don't
Yeah.
know how he can stop this push. As long as Jedi 1 takes his time and just takes out these cannons easily.
Yeah, I think this is pretty much it.
Pretty effective here. Like, yeah, he's got a bank on the DTs. Oh, the observer is about to come
Yeah.
out at this moment. It just came out.
Ash Jedi 1 playing pretty much perfect response to
Oh.
this build from Ben Elton.
It's just perfect. Like that could be a GG moment. Like after the observer, he knows.
Yeah, he's just aim moving in now. There's no reason to even take your time. He knows Ben Elton has no units. The cannons are the only thing stopping him. And the cannons are actually pretty weak,
Okay.
I gotta say.
Well, okay. I mean, it looks like congrats to Jedi.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's the GG.
Yeah,
from
I'm
Ben
looking
GG.
forward
Elton.
to seeing Jedi 1 play more throughout the season.
Damn. Okay, so that's the whole kit and caboodle, right? That's
Yeah,
the
that's the whole
BO3.
series.
Cool. Okay.
What I
Jedi
will
1.
say, I think it's really interesting that Jedi 1 lost 2-0 to Ben Elton this week in CPL, but then in this tournament he won 2-0, and I beat Ben Elton 6-3 in our show match, but I lost to Ben Elton, so it's like the players at the sort of
trades
top
happening.
of the CPL, there's no clear thing, which I think makes it even more interesting.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's heating up.
Yeah, it'll be a
that does
pleasure
it
to
for
watch
us, right?
how this plays out through the rest of
Yeah. Hey, well, thanks, man. I'm glad that I could hop on at
Yeah.
the moment. I was in a Risk of Rain run, and I couldn't end it.
Oh yeah, we should play that.
Just
I've been
couldn't
playing
end it.
a little bit recently. I still need to. There's like 4 new characters that I have to unlock.
Yeah, for real. Okay, well, dude, I'll catch you later. Thanks Royal Blue, and thanks everybody for tuning in. Congrats, Jedi 1 and the Ash Clan, and yeah, I'll catch you later, man.
Yeah, and thank you as well, Royal Blue, for the impromptu casting help. Originally, Sate Zero and Roegi were supposed to cast this.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Help each other out. Well, take it easy, y'all.
Yeah, you too.
Peace.